You're welcome to this session on Microsoft Excel lessons for lookup functions. In the previous video on VLOOKUP, we saw how vertical lookups work. Now, let's look at HLOOKUP, which stands for horizontal lookup. HLOOKUP is used when the information you want to search is arranged across the top row of a table, rather than down the first column. Instead of searching vertically, Excel moves from left to right across the first row of the selected table. Once it finds the value you are looking for, it moves down to a specified row and returns the corresponding result. For example, imagine a sales report where the months January through June are listed across the top of the worksheet, and the sales figures are arranged underneath each month. If you want Excel to return the sales value for a particular month, HLOOKUP can search across those month headings and bring back the correct figure automatically. The basic structure of the HLOOKUP function is HLOOKUP, lookup value, table array, row index number, and match type. The lookup value is what you want Excel to find. The table array is the range containing your data. The row index number tells Excel which row in that table should provide the answer. And the match type determines whether Excel should look for an exact match or an approximate match. As we work through some examples, focus on one important principle. HLOOKUP searches across the first row of the selected table and returns information from a row beneath it. HLOOKUP works similarly to VLOOKUP, but instead of searching vertically down a column, it searches horizontally across a row. In this example, Excel looks at the month entered in B5, which is April, and searches across the top row of the table from B1 to G1. Once it finds April, it moves down to the second row of the selected table array and returns the sales value. The word false tells Excel to use an exact match. HLOOKUP is helpful when your data labels run across the top of a worksheet instead of down the side. In this example, HLOOKUP is being used to retrieve a quarterly target. Excel takes the quarter entered in C6, searches for that label across the top row of the table, and then returns the value from the third row of that selected range. Because the third row contains targets, Excel returns the target for Q3. This formula is useful when reports are arranged horizontally, such as quarterly summaries, monthly dashboards, or compact management tables. This example uses HLOOKUP with an approximate match. The value in D5 is 26,000, and Excel scans across the first row of the table to find the closest threshold that does not exceed that amount. Because the formula ends with true, the lookup row must be sorted from smallest to largest. Excel finds that 26,000 falls after 20,000 but before 30,000, so it returns the value from the second row under 20,000, which is the applicable tax rate. This is useful for any horizontal banded scale or category chart. In this example, HLOOKUP is used to find a score for a specific subject. The subject name in F4 is science, and Excel searches across the top row until it finds that header. Once the subject is located, Excel moves down to the second row of the chosen table array, which contains student A's scores, and returns the value under science. This layout works when category labels are placed across the top and the values are arranged in rows beneath them. Here, HLOOKUP is helping us retrieve stock data based on a warehouse code. The lookup value is C7 is W4, and Excel searches horizontally across the top row for that warehouse. Once it finds the correct column, it goes down to the third row of the table array and returns the product B stock for that location. HLOOKUP is ideal when your identifiers are arranged in a row and each row beneath represents a different item, category, or metric. HLOOKUP is used when your lookup values are arranged horizontally across the top row of a table. Excel searches from left to right, finds the matching value, and then returns information from a specified row below it. The key thing to remember is that HLOOKUP works best when your data is structured horizontally. That brings us to the end of this lookup lesson. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like the video, share it with someone who is learning Microsoft Excel, and subscribe to the channel for more practical Excel tutorials. Keep practicing what you've learned, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we will treat the HLOOKUP function.